Bachmann's Acela Express may be one of the best looking American passenger train sets in HO scale. But, as anyone who's owned one probably knows, the coupler system is simply terrible. I don't even know when this happened, but one of these couplers just broke because all it is a thin piece of plastic coupling the engine to the passenger car. A couple snaps in there. It's really flimsy and difficult to use. So let's see what we can do to improve that. I'll start with the couplings between passenger cars since these will be the easiest. Now if all works out correctly, all I'm going to need is some of these old standard number 5 couplers and some brass wire and a little glue. Alright, the first thing I did was to clip off the back, so all that's left is the stem or shank of the coupler. That should give me just enough length, and that'll fit right in there. So then I'll drill a hole through the plastic and the coupler, insert some brass wire through there, and glue it in place. Okay, so now I've got the hole in there and in the coupler, so all I do is insert the coupler in there, brass pin into the hole, and with some glue that should give it a very strong coupling system. Alright, there's one down, and I also decided to trim off the trip pin since I don't use a magnetic uncoupler or anything, and since I'm guessing this isn't at standard height anyway, I haven't actually measured, I'm just guessing that I didn't really want the trip pin to get in the way of the re-railer or anything on the track. So if this is at all loose, I can put some shims in there to make sure it's a tighter fit, but this should give me a very good close coupling for the cars while still being flexible enough to go around the curves on my layout. Alright, 2 couplers done, so let's take these over to the track and see how they do. Perfect. Alright, the engine to car couplings will be a little more difficult. I think I'll have to do some cutting of those plastic parts, but I should still be able to fit the number 5 coupler heads in there. Alright, so I trimmed the end off of this one here, and then for the car I actually had to remove the body so that I could get this off for better access, and I cut most of the end box off of there, leaving just a little behind. That should hopefully give me enough room to put in those Kadee couplers. Alright, trimming things to that length got them right where they needed to be. So the only way to uncouple them would be to lift the passenger car off of the engine coupler, but again, this will make it much easier to couple the two together, and it should be a lot more reliable too. Alright, time for test number 2. Oops. There we go. And once again, it works perfect. One nice thing about this is that it's more solid, so The gap between the diaphragms on the engines and cars is a lot less than with the original clip-on couplers. A lot less bouncy too. So there you go. A fairly easy and quick way of modifying the Acela Express to couple much more easily and make it that much more reliable.